used to try to fit in, odd man out. I could never conform, I'm a standout. Trying to be like them, it never panned out. I took a different route, I got it planned out. I made my own lane, got my own swag. I'm a vibe, B, I'm in my own bag. My fly different, yep, I embrace that. I know my time coming, ain't gotta chase that. I'm built different, I hit different, always have. Ain't no shorty like me, keep it 100,000. I put my heart in it.
What's up, fam? It's your girl Toya, aka Beauty for Ashes, and I'm back as promised with another video for y'all. Bam. Got my notes, so you already know what type of time I'm on tonight. Got my wine. And got my cowboy, you know what I'm saying, representing. Oh, got my vision board, you know what I'm saying. Got goals for 2021. Laser focus, man. Feels good to be me. You know, not to have to put on a pretense or a front or try to fake for nobody. Like, over that. That's so 2020. But anyhow, you know, like I told y'all on my hiatus, I just had a lot of different thoughts, a lot of different ideas, a lot of things I wanted to talk about, and just a lot of things that I was struggling through myself. So like I had mentioned, you know, I've been reflecting on different things, right? Because we all struggle with something. And one of the things that I struggle with is always constantly looking for somebody else to make me happy or keep me happy. Like something had to be happening, you know, but somebody else had to facilitate that process. It was like I couldn't make myself happy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it was weird because at the end of the day, like, why do I need somebody else to make me happy? Like, I'm in charge of my own happiness. It's not anybody else's responsibility to make me happy, to keep me happy, to fix me. That's all on me. So it's not on them. It's on us, y'all. Like, we have to do the work. Now, somebody else can contribute to your happiness, but as far as putting the onus on them to make you happy, that's where we make a mistake. So tonight, I just wanted to go over a few little things, tips, ideas that I came up with just to kind of create your own happiness. And I mean, I know it's cliche, happiness comes from within, but it does. But, you know, I just wanted to add to that because it really, really does. Like, who knows better how to make you happy than you? You know what you want, and the problem is we count on other people to fulfill those needs or to read our mind and give us those things that we want when truthfully we can do it ourselves for the most part. So anyhow, the first thing I had was stop putting pressure on other people to make you happy. Like I said, it's not on them, it's on us. You can't expect somebody else to constantly fulfill that role in your life. Like, it's draining, it's exhausting. Have you ever tried to fulfill someone else constantly? Like, you get tired, you get worn down, you get worn out, like you don't know what to do after a certain point. So it's like you have to stop putting that responsibility on other people. Like, it's on you to make yourself happy. It's on you to know what it's going to take. And if you're missing something, it's on you to fill those voids and realize what it is that's lacking or missing. But it's not on the other person. So that was a hard lesson for me to learn, but I feel like I finally wrapped my head around that concept. And since then, I've been much better off. And a lot of people be like, oh, well, you got somebody, you married, you got children. And don't get me wrong, those things do contribute to my happiness. But even with having all of that, I still sometimes suffer with being unhappy. You know, I still feel voids or unfulfillment in my life. So it's not just having those things. Like, you have to be happy with yourself. And then those other things are just like an addition to your life. They're like the extra. They're like the icing on top of the cake, you know. So stop putting pressure on other people to make you happy. It's not their responsibility. The other thing, do things that you enjoy. Like, what do you like? Like, what do you like to do? What do you enjoy doing? Is it something that you have to do with somebody else? Like, For instance, going to a movie, like it's been several times that I've taken myself to a movie, I've taken myself out to eat, because sitting around waiting on other people, it may not never happen. And then you mad because that person didn't take you out to eat or didn't meet you at the movies or whatever the case. And then you wasted your whole night being mad when you could have just went on. Like, it's other people at the movies, other people at the restaurant, and I know some people are introverted, some people are not social. And now, mind you, I know that since COVID, things have changed. I get it. It's not as simple to go out and do those things. So these are just examples. But even now, there are still certain things that can happen, of course, with social distancing, with your mask, and the other precautions that are set up. You can still do some things or whatever. But let's say, for instance, since we are in that season of dealing with COVID, you may not be able to actually go to a movie, but you may have a movie night at home. You can go to your TV, Netflix, streaming service, cable, whatever. Even if you gotta go to Redbox, you can go somewhere and get you a movie. Like make a movie night for yourself. Be like, all right, tonight I'm gonna watch this movie. I'm gonna pop me some popcorn. I'm gonna have me some wine or water, whatever it is that you want to have with it. But like plan your night out, plan like a whole night that you can get excited about and have to look forward to. That's something that works for me. Having something to look forward to, that always contributes to my happiness. When I know I have something on the agenda, something that I've been wanting to do or planning to do, and I know that it's coming up. So, it doesn't have to be anything big and extravagant. Just like, tonight I'm gonna take me a bubble bath, I'm gonna relax, listen to some nice music, then I'm gonna watch me a movie. Like set up a whole little night for yourself. This kind of coincides with number two. Find a hobby, find a new hobby. What do you enjoy doing? Do you sing? Do you read? Do you exercise? I mean, it could be anything. But find a new hobby, not something you're already doing. Like, try to find something different to do. It's always rewarding to find like a new hobby and to actually be good at something, or just find something new that you didn't even know you would like. So find a new hobby, because that can become a career. It can become anything. It may turn into something bigger than that. And then it also takes your mind off of something else in your life that may be causing unhappiness. So a lot of times we tend to focus on the problem instead of looking for a solution. So a solution can be in the things that I mentioned previously, as far as doing things that you enjoy. And then, like I said, thinking of new ideas, new hobbies, or other things that you may not have even considered. So you have to think outside the box. Let me see what else. Expand your circle. Sometimes the people around you, you tend to outgrow them over time. Now, I'm not saying stop being friends with anyone, but sometimes those friendships, they run their seasons. Everything has a cycle. A lot of relationships are cyclical, meaning that they come in cycles. So they may be good for a certain season. Like, for instance, I had people that I was close to, but I was only close to them when I was doing certain things. So, when I was partying or clubbing, I had people for that. So that, like, every time we were together, that's what we did. And we always had a good time. We was happy, having fun. But then when I grew out of that season of my life, I wasn't into that anymore, but that person still was. So because we was on two different waves, it's just like we just kind of outgrew one another. But it's not saying that what they was doing was bad or anything like that. I just outgrew it. So sometimes you have to expand your circle, surround yourself with people that are like-minded, that have some of the similar, that have similar ideas as you, that may, you know, want different or better for themselves, and maybe some people that you've hung out with previously. Because sometimes you got to look at who's around you. Those people could be bringing you down. Those people could also be contributing to you being unhappy, especially if they're bringing negative or toxic energy into your life. So you want to just, be around people that are going to where you want to go, or maybe have the things that you want to have, and maybe see what they're doing that you could be doing differently. So expand your circle. So the next thing you want to consider is your job. Is your job a source of unhappiness for you? Is your job taken away from you more than what it's giving you? If so, it may be time to look elsewhere. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody to leave their job, but I'm just saying, like, if it's really a constant source of tension, of unhappiness. If you leave there every day, you mad, you frustrated, you upset, you crying. Like, you may want to explore other ideas, whether it be another job, or you may want to go the entrepreneur route. What are your talents? What are your gifts? Is there anything that you can do that nobody else can do like you? What do you do well? Maybe it's time for you to venture out on your own and do something that would be more fulfilling and more rewarding than a job could ever be to you. So sometimes, even though we're comfortable in that because we're getting a paycheck, it's stability, quote unquote, we get caught in that rat race and we tend to lose ourselves in the process. So if that's something that's causing you to be unhappy, it may be time to consider doing something else. Like, why keep going somewhere for the majority of your life? I mean, think about it. You're giving 40 hours of your life to something that makes you unhappy, maybe more. You might be giving 50 hours, weekends, nights, whatever. Like, why give that much of your time and yourself if it's causing you to be unhappy? Like, it just doesn't make sense at the end of the day. And you just have to weigh things out. You have to come up with a plan. So, of course, I know ideally you would love to go in your boss's office and like, look, dog, I'm out. Gave you the last of me. I'm out of here. A lot of us would want to do that, but you have to have a plan, and you have to figure out what your next move is. But the important thing is have a plan, make a move. Don't stay stuck where you are. I mean, especially in this day and age, dealing with COVID and all this other mess we're having to deal with. You don't want to spend however much time you have left doing something that you're unhappy with. It just doesn't make sense. So, I mean, that's not the only job, I'm sure, that can help pay your bills or use your skills or your expertise. So just look elsewhere, see what other opportunities are there, network. There are a lot of resources online. And then again, what is it that you can do? Maybe you can start with a side hustle, and maybe that side hustle can be your main hustle. So I'm just saying, don't box yourself in. Don't think like, yo, I'm stuck. I got family, I got bills to pay, so I got to stay here. You don't. There's other options. I mean, especially now, there's a lot of remote opportunities, work from home. There's a ton of things that can be done. So don't convince yourself that you're stuck and that there's nothing else or nothing more that you can do. You have to get out your own way and see what the possibilities are. Start exploring. All right. Next, it's time to maybe grow spiritually. I know for me, my faith is very important. I'm not much of a religious person anymore, but my faith is a sense of comfort for me. I mean, a source of comfort for me. It's also just a source of happiness as well, just because it's something that I can fall back on and count on, even when everything in my life is afoot. I can lean on my faith to get me through. Your spirituality. Spirituality is very, 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 very important if you're a spiritual person. So, if you've kind of strayed away from that, that may be something that you want to get back to. You may want to recenter yourself. You may want to refocus on that, and just make sure that, if that is something that you have leaned on previously that worked for you, go back to what works. If you're a person that read your Bible or went to church or listened to videos, but you've gotten away from that, you want to go ahead and get back spiritually grounded. You want to have that foundation, because if your foundation is shaky, everything else will be as well. So again, I'm not telling you how to live your life or what to do, but I'm just saying that that's something that's important to you and that's a part of who you are, then that is something that you want to lean on as well. This next one is something that I highly recommend, because for one, I do it myself, so I can speak to it. And for two, I just really think it's helpful and beneficial. But if you are dealing with issues in your life that are causing you to be unhappy, just things that are unresolved, things from your childhood, things that you've never healed from, it may be time to seek therapy. It may be time to talk to somebody. It's cool to talk to your friends and your family, but they have biases. They know you. They've been knowing you for a huge part of your life. So, it's hard for them not to see you one way. So they know you from your past. They know you from your mistakes. They know you from your decisions. But if you talk to somebody that's unbiased, somebody that's neutral, that really don't know you that way, they can give you unbiased feedback. They can help you to see things in a different lens, from a different perspective. So it's good to talk to somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with it. I know people be like, oh, You know, if you have a therapist, something must be wrong. You must be crazy. Something wrong with all of us. We all a little crazy. Everybody got things in their life that's not quite, you know what I mean? Like, we ain't perfect. Like, we all got something going on, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. Just talk to somebody. Get that off you. Like, the more you hold it in, you're going to self-destruct. It's going to come out in some way, shape, or form. So it's best to talk to somebody, you know, get it out, get the feedback, get the help, you know, start the work, get the therapy that you need, man. I'm telling you, it makes a big difference, and you'll see a change in your life. Once you stop shouldering those burdens and those secrets and those hurts, like, I'm telling you, a powerful change can start to take place, and you won't even recognize yourself at the end of it, because you'll be so transformed, because it's like you ain't hunchback no more. You ain't carrying all this weight around. You know what I mean? Now it's like, whew, I can breathe. Look at how sexy that is. Look at how I'm breathing. Look how my shoulders all loose and stuff. You know, you can be like that too. So yeah, seek some help. It's nothing wrong with talking to people, because your friends and family, they don't always know what's best. They're coming from their perspective. They're coming from, again, what they know of you or your situation. So talk to somebody that don't even have, you know, a stake in the game or whatever. They got nothing that they basically benefit from but helping you. So let them help you. Let them do what they do. Let them help. All right. Um, Also, help somebody else in need. There's so many people out here that are less fortunate than us. See where you can be a blessing to someone else. That's a very rewarding feeling when you're able to help somebody else, especially if you see somebody else struggling and you can help them. That's such a rewarding feeling. It feels really good, and for sure it'll put a smile on your face to know that, hey, this person, they're doing better because of something that I did to help them out. So maybe you can volunteer. It's definitely a lot of volunteer. It's definitely a lot of volunteer opportunities out there. You can do a food kitchen. You can work at a shelter. You know, you can work at places that give out food. You know, just different places like that. But go online. Google is your best friend. See who needs help. See how you can be a blessing to somebody else. Sometimes if we take the focus off of ourselves, the things that we're so concerned about and worried about, they tend to fade to the background, and they're not as big as we thought that they were. When you see somebody else that really is hurting, somebody else that really is in need and really, really going through something, you know, when we reflect back to what we may be dealing with, it may not be as big as we thought. And that's not to minimize anything that you go through, because, you know, whenever you're going through something, it's big to you. But at the same time, it may help you to put it in its proper perspective. If you see, like, hey, man, these people over here, they ain't ate in 2 days. You know, at least I got food in the refrigerator. You know, start counting your blessings. Like, Lord, I'm thankful for my house, my car, my family, my job, my clothes, my water. Like, just be thankful for whatever you have, no matter how small or tedious it may seem. Just start listing off things that you're thankful for, and that will help you as well, because then you stop focusing on what you don't have and your problems, and you start looking at the blessings. Give others what you want. So if you want somebody to be nice to you, be nice to them. You want somebody to cook for you, cook for them. Give somebody the thing that you want, and it may come back to you. I'm not saying it always does, but it's a good start. I feel like you can only get back what you put out there. So if you put out positive energy and you know, do to others, like what does the Bible say? Do to others as you would have them to do unto you. Those are words to live by. Like, seriously. So think about the things that you want. You know, if you want a friend, be friendly. How you gonna have a friend and you walking around with a scowl on your face? Who's gonna try to approach you? Who's gonna try to talk to you and you looking all crazy and mean? Smile. Okay, don't smile like that. I didn't like that smile. Don't do that. But, you know, be joyful. Be pleasant. Don't have an attitude. Give out good energy, and good energy will come back out to you, or come back to you, rather. It will come back out, but it'll come back to you. Okay? Okay. Sometimes you got to be solo. Solo dolo. You can't always wait for everybody. This ties in another point I made previously, like, you know, doing things for yourself, but don't always wait for people. Like, if it's something that you've been wanting to do, do it. Now, for women, I do encourage you to be safe. You know, I have friends that like to travel and they travel alone. I don't particularly encourage that, but I mean, do what works for you. But I'm just saying, sometimes you got to do it alone. You don't have to always wait for somebody else before you can make your next move. Make your move without them. If somebody's holding you up, somebody, lagging behind, and they're the only reason why you're not accomplishing something or doing something, then it's time for you to move forward without them. You can't let them be the reason why you're not where you want to be or achieving a goal that you're trying to achieve. You have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone and do things by yourself. Sometimes when you're by yourself, you can see things a little bit more clearly because you don't have the influence of somebody else. You can actually move when you want to move, go when you want to go. Like, it's such a freeing and liberating feeling when you don't have somebody else holding you back. Like, you can just do you. I mean, trust me, when you start doing you and moving like you want to move, like, you would never look back. You'd be like, oh man, like, all this time I'm waiting for somebody else, and they was holding me back or whatever. Now, because I'm not, I've been able to accomplish A, B, C, and D. So do your thing. YOLO, solo, Dolo. I don't know what Dolo mean, but I'm gonna make up something for it. Do only, love only. That didn't really work, but solo Dolo. Okay. So anyhow, guys, I try to keep this short, but I was on the road. What you want me to do? But I hope these tips helped you. Let me know, share, comment, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. And I'll see y'all next Friday.